Hello, welcome to part 2 of the scripting tutorial series. Today we're going to be going over variables and properties and comments. So let's get started. I'm gonna make a script in server-script service and rename it to tutorial. This is not necessary. So variables, variables. So an easy way to explain them is that they're like a box, so you can store stuff in them and take them out whenever you need to. So to make a variable, you're gonna type out local, the variable name. So hard to remember number. You should not name your variables this long, by the way. This is just for a crappy example. Equals. So this is a hard to remember number, and we can do some stuff with it, like we can print it out. So hard to remember number, and now if we test it out, it prints out the number. So that's a simple example. You can change the value of them. So we can change it by just referencing the name of the variable equals and a new value. So yeah, you can make a variable. I forgot to explain this part. So after naming your variable, you put an equals mark, so you're setting the value of the variable and then the value that you want to assign to the variable. So now we're referencing it and we are setting the value of the variable to 1. So it isn't so hard to remember now. You can also not assign a value to your variables, and you can assign it later. So if I print it now, it's gonna be an error or nil. Yeah, nil. So it gives me a warning here because it's never initialized. So or I can just set it to nil. So nil means nothing. But yeah, so right now our variable is nothing. So we can just set it to 1 and it's gonna be 1. There. So you can also make like multiple variables in one line by doing like number 1, then a comma, number 2, and yeah, you can keep on going forever. Then you can do equals, and now it's pretty much the same process but with your variable assigned values. So 3, 6, 4. There we go. And we can also print them out. So you can actually print out multiple stuff by printing out the first thing, putting a comma or a comma, and then putting in your second thing that you want to print. So you can guess what this will print. 364. Now you can store more than just numbers in variables. So we have our numbers, obviously. You can actually store them as decimals as well. So 5.5. You can do 0.5, or you can skip the 0 and do 0.5. It's the same thing as 0.5. So I'm gonna do this as like 4. So we can also store strings. Oh yeah, I just saw like my phrase. So to make a string, you don't type out letters like this. You have to put quotation marks. It will bring up some fancy green quotation marks, and now you can type inside of here, there, like that. So I'll do like this is a green string, and you can also store booleans. So bool. Okay, so yeah, people write it as bool or say it as bool. So a boolean is a true or false value. So I'm gonna set it to true. Let me show you what comments are really quick as well. So a comment is a way to document your code or let other people know what your script does. So to make a comment, it's 2 minuses or dashes and your comment. So this will be absolutely ignored by the script. So let's type out what all of these variables mean. So this is a number, or more commonly called integer, which is a long way of saying int. And obviously you have decimals as well. So actually I make another one. So local decimal equals 2.7. So this is so this is actually called a float, which is also called a double. A double is actually different from float in the fact that it's longer. I'm also showing all of these in case someone ever tells you in case you ever see any of these words in a message, so you'll know what they mean. This is a string, and this is a boolean or bool. Okay, let's print all of this out. So we can do number, decimal, my phrase, and bool. So number, decimal, my phrase, bool. And obviously we can change my phrase. So yeah, I'll show you in a second. So this prints out all of them. So yeah, 4, 2.7, this is a green string, and true. You can actually set a variable's value to another variable. So we can set decimal equals to number. So the first two prints will be 4, 4, 4. So yeah, this is variables. You can store a lot more stuff, which I will show you in a second. You can also do multi-line comments. So right now, if I type down here, it won't work. So if you want to type a multi-line comment, it's 2 dashes and then 2 square brackets, and they end with 2 more square brackets. So you can write your multi-line comment in the middle. So like this. So you can just type out your multi-line comment. And yeah, so this is variables. I'll show you one last thing. So you can also make a variable using other variables. So local combine equals number, and you can now use a plus to add them together, or you can use a minus, or you can divide, or you can multiply. I'll do plus, and if I print combined, it will print 6.7. yeah. Okay, let's get on to the funner stuff, I guess I can say. So let's make a part and let's put it in the air. So if you click on the part, either in here or in your window, it shows up like with a property window. So properties, you have probably messed around with properties if you used Studio before. So if you like go to pick color, you can change the color of it, or you can change it on the color screen. You can change properties like cast shadow, which removes shadows. You can go to like transparency, and so yeah. Let's right now go to our part and let's make it anchored. I will show you what this does. So let's duplicate it, unanchor this, and I'm gonna name it part 2. Let's run it. So as you can see, anchored freezes the object in the air, whilst if it isn't anchored, physics apply to it and it falls down. So how can we change something about a part with a script? Well, we can do game. So let me explain to what children and parents are, not like IRL, but like programming. So a child is something that's inside of another instance. So this script here, yeah, we put it inside server script service. Therefore, this is a child of server script service, and the parent of the tutorial is server script service, and it's a child of server script service. So yeah, children are everything that's inside of an instance. An instance is just like something here that you can click on. Is an easy way to explain it. And a parent is like if I were to click on this, and the parent will be this. So you can see if they're a parent or child by seeing this little indent here. So as you can see, the script icon is like a little more inside, so you can see that's a child of script service. I hope you understood. So game, so pretty much game is like an invisible instance here. So everything, so all of these are children of game. So game is just like an holds all of this here. You can't see it. So to change something about this, we get first off we have to get a path to the part. So let's go. Oops, wait. So yeah, let's first get a path to the object. So game. Okay. So to access children, we use a period. So dot. Okay, so game is holding all of these, and our part is inside workspace. So game dot workspace, and we wanna modify part. So part. So we have our path to the part. Let's find what we wanna change about it. How about anchored? So it's easy to change properties. You use a period to access the properties, and now we just type out the name of the property. So anchored. And now if the property has like a tick value that you can click on and off, it's a boolean. So anchored equals, and remember boolean is true or false. Right now it's true, so let's change it to false. Let's see what happens. And as you can see, they're both unanchored, aka not frozen. So let's change the color of it as well. So let's change the prick color first. So it might get tedious to write out all of this, so we can shorten it in two ways. First off, workspace can actually be accessed without game. It's just workspace. Roblox made it a shortcut. It doesn't work for anything else, just workspace. And we can actually use variables, you know, the local thing that we learned a couple of minutes ago, to store part. So to do that, the first three steps are the same. So local, and then the name of the variable. So change part, I guess, and then equals. And now we pretty much do the same thing that we did earlier. We write out a path to our part. So workspace.part. And now we can just we can reference this variable and skip all of this part and just go straight to the part and then dot anchored. So you can see how this can be useful if you have tons of children, and then you can just write out a single line and keep on using it. So change part dot anchored equals false. So this will do the exact same thing, as you can see, and we're repeating multiple lines of the same thing. So let's change color. Change part dot prick color equals. Now you might want to, I don't know, check your color and type it out like really red. Okay, that won't work. Maybe if I put it in a string, it will work. Now this will work for most people, but it's not intended to do this way. They just kind of added a feature so I can do this, but the real way to do it is because prick color is actually a custom data type, I guess you can say. I'm not sure if data type is even the right word for it, but yeah, it's a custom data type. So to set the prick color to a new color, you're gonna have to match the property that you're gonna set it to. So prick color, and this still won't work. We actually have to create a new prick color. So prick color.new, and now the value or the name of the prick color goes inside here. So real red. This might have been really confusing, and I do understand if it is. It's just not easy. Even I can't find a really good way to explain this, but it just should click in your head. But it should work without prick color.new as well, if I remember right. No, it doesn't actually. What? I don't know why I remember it working. So yeah, unable to assign property prick color expected, got string. I'm not sure if I covered errors, but errors pretty much, this is the date of the error. This is the error itself. This shows if it's a server script, I'm pretty sure. And this shows the script. So you can actually just click on the error and it will focus on the line that the error is in. And this also shows the line and the name of the script, so tutorial line 4. So unable to assign property prickler, so it failed to assign the prickler property. Prickler expected got string, so usually it says what it couldn't do, and then it says why it couldn't do that. So it expected a prickler, but it got a string. So yeah, that's why I need to create a prickler, not a string. Let's do the same with color. So color, it isn't a string, number or boolean, so it's actually called color tree, and it goes like the same process. So dot new, and now we put in our color. So color tree is not RGB, so you can't do 255. It's only 1 or 0. So if you do 1 1 1 1, it will be white. It will be turned white. So you probably want to use RGB. To do that, you do dot from RGB, and now you can do your RGB number, red, and that's RGB. I'll show you a position as well really quick. We got time. So to make a position, we go down here, and it is in fact a number, but it's 3 numbers in 1. So you might try to do something like this. Yeah, it won't work. You need to actually make a vector tree.new. If you don't know what a vector tree is, it's pretty much a position in a 3D space. So like the position of it in the 3D world. So vector tree, we gotta create a new vector tree. So vector tree.new. So it's the XYZ. That's how vector tree works. So I'll show you real quick. So you should have this cube here in Studio. So as you can see, the red color is the x-axis, so that's the like width of it. The z is the depth, and the y is the height. So we can do vector tree.new. I'll do 0, 100, 0. So it'll spawn at in the middle of the map, 100 stars in the air. Let's see it work. Oop, and it fell down. So yeah, that's how we can mess around with parts. Yeah, sorry about that. The dog is running around crazy again. So yeah, that's parts. So yeah, that's everything I have to teach. I'll also give you a challenge to complete by the end of the day, so you can test your skills. Yeah. Actually, before I give you the challenge, let me show you how to change materials as well. So materials are a little different. So it's change word dot material equals, now a material, it's not like a normal property, it's actually an enum. I'm not gonna say what enum means really. It's not easy to say, pretty much explain. It pretty much holds more data types. It's the easy way to explain. So enum, and the data types that we want to access is material. Now we do dot, and we choose our material, neon, and it goes neon. You can actually you can do enums with strings, so that's easy. Again, sorry about the barking. And as you can see, it worked the same. I do like using enum though, so it's just, I don't know, you seem more professional. So yeah, I'll leave yeah, okay, so I'll be right back in a second with a challenge for you to complete, so you can test your knowledge, and it will be possible with the things you just learned. So go ahead and give it a try. Okay, so I quickly did a quick script. So by the end of the challenge, you should, so at the start of the challenge, before you start anything, you should have a part here, named part, and you should have just the default properties, nothing changed. And if you run the game, the part should be set in the air somewhere, it should be big like a sun, anchored and everything. So I'll also show you the properties real quick. So you have to make sure that it's colored like the sun, so yellow, orange, I guess red even. So actually, yeah, bonus points if it doesn't cast a shadow. So I'll take that off real quick. You can't do that though. I mean, you can, but just breaking the challenge rules. Yeah, changing the color, you can use either brick color or color. The material has to be neon because the sun glows. So yeah, transparency 0. The name, you also have to change the name of it to sun. You have to make the size, you have to make it big like the sun. I personally did 50 50 50. The position, just set it somewhere in the sky. I did 64, 100, 114.5 and minus 62. And it should be anchored, can collide, yeah, you can have it on. And yeah, that's pretty much a challenge. So the point is to have a big yellow glowing square in the sky that doesn't fall down and is named sun. So if you can't do that somehow, no offense though, because might still be complicated. I will leave the script at the end of the video in like, yeah, I'll do it in 10 seconds. So pause the video, go try to do this challenge and come back in 10 seconds and see if you have a similar script. So yeah, I'll start just a timer or something and wait 10 seconds here. Actually, never mind that, it's 5 seconds. I didn't mean like that you have to do the challenge in 10 seconds, but just I gave you some time to pause it. So I'm going to be opening the script now. So if you have something similar to this, or it just looks like this, then you completed the challenge. And obviously when it's not started, your part should be lying on the ground somewhere. So yeah, if you ended up with a script similar to this, I mean, you don't have to do the variable, but it would be nice if you did. And obviously this can be in different order, it doesn't really matter. In fact, I will move anchored up here even, that's even better. And it happens more instantly, it doesn't have time to fall down. So yeah, if you did do it, congratulations, you pretty much learned properties and variables. You can even experiment around by saving the position in a variable like this. That's if you understood it really well. You should be able to combine the pieces of information I gave you to do something like this. Yeah, so it will work the same. And yeah, so if you did do it, congratulations. If you did not, I'm sure you can understand it eventually. Just mess around with the stuff I just gave you to learn. So yeah, I'll be adding challenges to most of the videos now. So yeah, goodbye. I'll see you in the next video.